Hello, welcome back to this channel or welcome to this channel. My name is Jackie and I'm obsessed with planners, journals and bullet journals. Today I'm here to share with you very briefly my bullet journal setup for 2022. This is not going to be a process video, so you are not going to see me setting up all the spreads in here. I'm just going to show you the finished spreads and talk about how I'm using each of those spreads. The reason for that is that I struggled a lot to find the perfect bullet journal and the perfect setup. I've been struggling this beginning of 2022 to find my perfect lineup. I don't want to say perfect, but at least a lineup that's perfect for me at this time in my life. So you will probably see that in future videos as well. But today we are here just to talk about my bullet journal and how I use it, and also share with you the finished setup for at least the first 6 months of 2022. So I'm using this beautiful Nuna notebook. I'm loving the Nunas. I've been using them since June last year, and it was the bullet journal I was able to stuck with and just use every single day. I absolutely love their designs. This one is called the Milky Way, and I love how the designs go to the spine of the notebook and to every single page as well. I think it's a very nice touch. I still need to film a review of this notebook. Now that I've been using it for a very long time, I feel like I'm ready to do a final review, but let me just show you very briefly how it looks. It doesn't have a pen loop or a pocket at the back or an elastic band to wrap around, so it's just the notebook. But I love the size. It's a little bit bigger than your regular A5 size, and also the paper is 120 GSM, which is just perfect for me. And the dot grid is a little bit smaller than your regular dot grid notebooks. Since it doesn't have a pen loop, I have one of these bookmarks from the Hobonichi website, which is just perfect. I've been using the same in my previous Nuna, and I just transferred it to this one, and I will probably get more of these because they are very, very useful. I also have one of these Midori metallic tabs. They are just perfect because they are very sturdy and they won't come out as your regular paper tab. And in here, I just have a tab by Post-it that I just wrote today with my label maker, and it takes me very easily to the current day I'm at. Okay, it's time to start the flip through. So in this first page, I don't have anything. I love that it is black. I love how it looks. I will probably add a couple of stickers here throughout the 6 months of the year, the first 6 months of the year, but for now it's just blank. Same as with this page, that it's always kind of stuck to that first page in here, so I don't really like to design on it. This is the final 2022 cover I went with for my bullet journal. I had 3 other options, but I just like my first setup to be very minimal. Then I have the 2022 yearly calendar. I don't really use it here in my bullet journal, only in my Hobonichi cousin, but I just love how it looks, so I decided why not? And you will see that it is glued because I was just tired of designing it over and over again because I kept changing my mind. So I decided just to cut it from my previous bullet journal and glue it in here, and I still like the look. And this spread was completely inspired by Dotted V over on Instagram, so I will leave their link down below because they have amazing inspiration. If you like this more, I would say minimal, but it's not so minimal, but it's this black and white design, and they are very, very talented, and you will get a lot of inspiration from their page. Next, I have my index. The Nuna notebook is numbered, which is awesome for me because I really reach out for my index, and I feel like a couple of years from now, it will be even more useful, so I always like to have a couple of pages for indexing all the notes that I will be doing on the daily logs. you will see that it is in here that I have my Midori tab, because then I can very easily reach out for the index to index something, but I also can be taken to the most important part of any of my setups, which is the future log. In my future log, I like marking down all of my appointments and also events that will take a very chunk of my day, or at least part of my day, that I won't be able to do another thing in that same day, if that makes sense. So for instance, doctor appointments, meetings, everything goes in here, being it personal or work related. And also if I have a conference that I'm attending, it is an event, but I need to mark it down in here because I won't be able to schedule anything at the same time, at the same day. And even though this notebook will probably last me only for 6 months, I like having the full year of future logging here, because we do sometimes have to mark things down way in the future, so I just like having that option in here. And I also have a dedicated page to 2023, because sometimes we need to schedule conference way in advance, so I thought it would be nice to have a page in here just in case. And if I don't use this, I can always come back here to this page to mark down the spreads I want to carry out with me to 2023, or any planning related stuff. I think it will be nice as well. The next spread is a very important page that you probably already saw in order of my setup videos. It is my inbox, and I just use this kind of Alistair method because it's really functional and it's perfect for this. And the way it's structured is I have the initials of every single month of this year and a little interrogation point just in case I don't know when an event or a task needs to be done. Then I just have a column for what. So basically, whenever a task pop up in my mind, I will just come back here and write it down and then put a dot on the month I think it will happen, or I know it will happen. And then once that task is done, I will just cross it off, and that's it. I don't have to be thinking about where I want to put things. It can just come here. It is mainly used for tasks that I want to get done in that first 6 months of the year or in that year, but I don't really know, or I don't really have to assign a specific date or even month to it. So for instance, I want to work on my CVs, but that will be something I will need only for 2023. But of course I need to work on this year, so it will probably come here to my inbox. It's mainly a task dump. I'm just using the term inbox to feel fancy. Next, we have my period tracker, and this time I decided to go with a 2-page spread because I want to keep track of all the data from 2021 and 2022 so we can compare. If you menstruate, I highly recommend you do a setup like this because you can gather so much information about your body and your health. So I highly recommend that. And we need to normalize talking about those stuff as well. Next, I have a YouTube idea spreads because if you didn't know, for this year, I'm trying to post every single week, every single Monday so far. So I just want to keep track of all the weeks of the year and just my ideas for videos for that particular week, and it's very helpful. But if you are not a content creator, you can use these maybe for your daily tasks or household tasks or your university semesters or weeks. I don't know, but I think it can be a functional spread still. Then I have my academic data spread, and this is basically for all the logins and things I need to keep in mind for my university and for my PhD. I won't mark down any passwords in here, so don't worry, but I just like having all the logins and emails I need to know every single time I'm at university or that I may need at some point. Next, I have my 2022 books. My goal for this year is very simple. It's just 22 books, but they cannot be related to my PhD. So that's the little caveat in there, because I usually read a lot, but everything is for my PhD, but this year I want to read more for fun as well. And I will probably just mark down the titles and the name of the author and when I started and finished that particular book. Now, the final spread of this setup is my 2022 goals. I still need to work on this, but I thought it would be nice to have it here right before the monthly starts, and it's my first time actually creating a setup like this. So after I'm done, I will probably film another video sharing it with you. And then we are up to my January monthly, and that's it. That's very simple. I don't like to have a lot of different spreads in my yearly setup because I know then I won't use them and just get frustrated. So this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Maybe it gave you some ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Monday. Bye bye.